think you hit him.
Dude, I totally hit him.
He's down.
He's down.
Dude!
That video was a highly edited version of a 6.8 Western taking down an elk in one shot. But in today's video, that's not exactly what happened. We are going to discuss how the 6.8 Western and the 30-06 did on elk. This is going to be my honest opinion, just an opinion, it's not fact. And we're going to have a discussion on cartridges, bullets, and I'll just say this. If I hear another shot placement is king about killing elk, ugh. This past weekend, I went hunting with my buddies, and they both got elk. One was shooting a 6.8 Western with a 170 grain Berger EOL. The other is shooting a 30-06 with federal factory ammo terminal Ascent. And both cartridges did the job. In today's video though, I'm going to give you kind of a grading of how the cartridge and bullet did for each situation. Let's just get this out of the way. Any cartridge can kill an elk, from 223 Remington, 243, 270, 7 PRC, 300 PRC up to 338s, like this 340 Weatherby. They can all do it. You know, make the right shot and it will kill it. But this video is not about can it kill elk. It's about what's most ideal. There are poor, mediocre, good, better, and best elk cartridges. If you can handle the recoil, bigger is better. Let's get into grading how the cartridges did. We'll start with the 30-06. My friend Daniel was shooting a Savage Axis in 30-06 with the federal terminal Ascent, 175 grain factory ammo. So not this. This is a hand load with the 165 AccuBond. But that factory ammo, we've tested the velocity in this 22-inch barrel. It's going around 2,700 feet per second, which is a little bit low below the box velocity, but pretty darn close. So that's good. He took his elk from roughly 150 yards with that 175 terminal Ascent. And I'll just let him explain what happened.
I saw two cow cross above me, and then about 10 minutes later, I heard some noise, and I looked, and I saw the two spikes on it, so I shouldered the gun, took a shot, and it just stood there. It did nothing. And since he didn't move, I was like, I must have missed him. So chambered another one. Should have hit him because he jumped, and then just chambered another one, shot him again because I didn't know.
And then he dropped.
Then he dropped.
So it took 3 shots for it to die. The first shot, elk didn't even seem like it cared that it got hit. And he did hit it 3 times. We definitely checked when we were quartering it out. Second shot, jumped up, and then he finished it off with the third shot, and it fell over. It did not run away. And it was a relatively quick kill. In fact, I'll say it did better than the 6.8 Western. So let's take a little deep dive into how fast this 175 terminal Ascent was going. It was roughly going at 8,000 feet of elevation, and the temperature we were at, which was in the high 30s, it was roughly hitting the elk around 2,500 feet per second at 150 yards, which energy-wise, for those that really care, it's 2,400 foot-pounds of energy. The 3 shots, were they any good? Yes, 2 of the 3 were definitely good shots. I don't know the order of these. I don't think he does either. But the worst shot, he put one into the butt. And then the other 2 shots, he put one into the front shoulder that went through the vitals. And then he put one in the neck. Overall, with talking with Daniel and how it all went down and how quickly he took those shots, and from when the elk died from the first shot, I would probably say it was no more than 2 minutes. So fairly quick. I'm going to give the overall grade to how the 30-06 did with the terminal Ascent and an elk was C+. It was above average. I'll say this, elk are tough, and it's usually not what you see on YouTube with hunting videos of a one-shot DRT. Most people, it's going to take 2 or 3 shots. So that's why I say the 30-06 did average. Now, I just watched a video from the Buffalo Boar guy, Tim, And he's got a ton of experience shooting elk. And he did a little special on the 7 Rem Mag, which is what this one is right here. And he called it a good elk cartridge, not a great elk cartridge. And he also said the 30-06 also fits that it is a good elk cartridge and not a excellent or great cartridge. And from the results I've seen, I kind of have to agree. The 30-06 did its job. It did fine, but there was nothing impressive about it. Going forward with the 30-06, I think I want to hand load for Daniel. I already texted him and asked him, how do you feel about me pulling the rest of your 2 boxes of Federal Terminal Sending ammo and doing a hand load with those bullets? And he was down for it. 2,700 feet per second with a 175 grain is pretty meh, in my opinion, for a 30-06. Using Vitivory N550, we can get that pushing close to 2,900 feet per second with that 175 terminal ascent pretty easily. All right, I just want to show you the quick ballistics. This is at 8,000 feet where he shot the elk at the temperature he shot the elk. It was around 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Muzzle velocity 2,700 feet per second, 2,833 foot-pounds of energy at 150 yards, which is the estimate of where he shot it from, was going 2,502 feet per second, 2,432 foot-pounds. It's all right, especially when you consider this is at 8,000 feet. If we shot this at sea level, it would look a little bit worse. But what if we hand loaded it with N550? And I'm not, I definitely could get 2,900. I'm going to back it off a little. Let's just take into consideration it's most likely not going to shoot the best, going over 2,900 feet per second. Your energy is now 3,157 foot-pounds of energy. So that's 300 more foot-pounds of energy. Then at 150 yards, we're going about 100, almost 150 feet per second faster with the hand load, and almost 300 more foot-pounds of energy at 150 yards. The question is it really worth it? Is it going to really make a big difference in 30-06? Maybe, but why not? Let's get this thing cooking. All right, let's get to the 6.8 Western. Beginning of the video, you saw the first shot. It dropped the elk. You got to give it credit there. Wyatt, the person that shot the elk, he believes his first shot hit the front shoulder, went through, did some darn good damage on the vitals.
Congrats.
And it dropped him.
No, he's down.
And
he's down.
It did drop him. However, we definitely saw that the elk was still alive, still moving his head, and he was trying to get up, but he was still on his stomach. So Wyatt put 2 more shots into the elk. He hit him in the neck and in the spine. And after the 3rd shot, the elk was able to get up temporarily and roll over onto his back where he would expire. The shot was about 120 yards away or so, maybe a little over 100 yards. After a couple minutes of waiting to make sure he didn't get up, we walked over there, went to the elk, and unfortunately, the elk was still kicking his legs and he was grunting. So he was still breathing, still alive. Wyatt shot him in the neck, which made quite the mess, and I did not put it on video. That didn't immediately kill him, and so he put another shot into him. So altogether, 5 shots with the 170 Berger. Personally, I think it's a bit disappointing. I get it, elk are tough, and he did flatten him the first time, but I don't know. 5 shots, it seems a bit excessive to get that spike elk dead. I'm going to have to give an overall score for the 6.8 Western with this 170 Berger a D+. Now, in the beginning of the video, I rolled my eyes when I said shot placement is king. Now, shot placement is really important. You're going to kill an elk if you hit it in the vitals. If you hit it in the butt, probably not. But everyone just talks about all you have to do is just hit it in the vitals and it's great. Well, we did that with the Berger. Wyatt made a really good shot, hit it in the front shoulder, and it went through the heart, tore it up, and that elk was still alive for quite some time after he shot it. Maybe this is just kind of just shows just how bad Berger bullets are for hunting. Also, now I'm starting to reconsider what kind of cartridges I'm using for hunting. Obviously, I use big magnums, but I've always been very fair to, you know, keep your shots close if you're going to use a 308 Win or a 7mm 08. Now I'm starting to think, you know, if we really don't want any of these elk to suffer, why aren't we shooting 338 magnums, you know, or bigger? Anyway, something to think about.